real estate. It's my passion. I wake up every day thinking about how do I create a better team, a better community. And I think it really comes down to the value. One of the values I value the most is community. And I love our investor community. I love the community I live in, the people that I get to work with. And that's what really moves the needle for me in life. Forum Real Estate Group's a real estate private equity investment firm with a focus on the multifamily world. We have an institutional quality but an entrepreneurial spirit, and that's really what allows us to be successful. We don't have a mandate to put capital to work. When opportunities present themselves, we will take advantage of them. When they don't, we'll wait and we'll be patient. We're the only real estate company I know of that has an internal branding and marketing group.
We talk at Forum about the secret sauce, and the details of that are doing your homework, understanding the who of your residents, understanding what they want that they didn't even know they needed. We use that as kind of our guiding principle of how we're looking at our business. And it could be on a new development, it could be on an acquisition. It's really understanding the who of our residents and really bringing that into everything that we do.
You have choices all around, and so you go where you feel good and feel comfortable and it makes you happy. That you can't necessarily put a price tag on, and you can't necessarily define or quantify it.
At Forum, we have 4 different asset classes that we break into collections. We have a signature collection, a premier collection, an essential collection, and a business collection.
One of the reasons why we came up with our different collections is we didn't want to be pigeonholed into any one strategy. We didn't want to be known as just a developer or just an acquirer of real estate. Rather, we're an investor in real estate, and the market will dictate whether we develop at a certain point in time or whether we acquire at a certain point in time.
The signature collection is generally our marquee location, Class A. They're highly amenitized, they're branded from the ground up. So those are the properties where we have a chance to do that on-the-ground research and craft that brand story from birth.
One of the things that Forum does very well is try and really find where the customer is. What is the customer looking for? Even if the customer doesn't particularly know that that's what it wants, and do that ground up research and then design projects that really fit the need of that customer.
When it comes to our premier collection, those are really more in primary markets, and we're looking for underutilized assets. So we want that property to be in a really good location, but then we want to be able to go in there and create a lot of value for both the residents and our investors. When investors are looking for dependable and recurring cash flow, that's when they look to the essential collection. So those are properties in secondary and tertiary markets. Generally, they're very supply constrained because the cost of new construction can't be justified by rents. The risk profile on those deals is much lower. The income is already in place.
The branding, the strategy, the Forum touch, and our operational prowess, I think gives us the opportunity to really create long-term value for our investors.
And then the last collection is our business collection, whether it be an office development or a parking lot, something that is very real estate intensive, but it's a business, retail, industrial type of operation, not a residential.
Like our build-to-suit for Google up in Boulder, we like these marquee commercial locations as well. We don't do a ton of them, but when the right opportunity comes, we definitely will stick a shovel in the ground and plant our flag.
It's amazing to think that in 2 months, at the end of May, we're going to be delivering this building on time, on budget, after years of preparation. Pretty exciting to be where we are today.
I think when we started, we all had a commitment to each other, and Forum certainly led the discussion with an extraordinary vision of being able to attract a world-class tenant with a building that was second to none. We often work with clients who say those kinds of things, and as you work through a project, there are all kinds of forces that get the whole team distracted, and buildings don't tend to end up with the original vision. So I think Forum had really realized the value in the land, the value in this moment in time, and certainly the opportunity to attract someone with the signature stature of Google. And we're a couple months from completion, but you start to really see it now.
The right investor for Forum isn't actually just an investor, it's actually a partner. I think the key for Forum is find the right investor partners that match up with our investment strategy, not letting the investor partner tell us what our strategy is.
Our investors look to us to be the owners as well. We think of ourselves as kind of the fiduciary for everybody. So we want to make sure we don't take undue risk. We put long-term debt on, we put fixed rate debt, we have very strong debt coverage ratios to protect ourselves and to protect our investors, and ultimately to protect the residents. Because if we can do what we think we do well, and we can continue to do it, we think that's a win-win for everybody.
Our alignment of interest with our partners is unlike any other I know in the industry. We truly view people as partners, not as investors. And it's not just saying that, but it's also in our structure. It's a majority has to vote if we want to have a sale or refinance. Most firms, they get to call the shots. That to me is not a partner. The sound of one hand clapping is nothing. The sound of two hands clapping is a partnership.
We are looking out on a long-term horizon, generational in nature, that says, I want to own this asset, and oh, by the way, I want to give this asset to my children.
The deal drives the capital, not the capital driving the deal. So it's not like we just have $20 million, we have to put it to work, so let's find a project, let's find something to invest in. Instead, it's let's make sure this deal's a good fit, let's make sure we would all invest in it, and then let's take it to our investors. Because if we're not going to invest in it, why should we expect anybody else to give us money?
I'm typically the largest investor, and Foreman as a whole, all of our group internally is in each and every deal we do. So we really do put our money where our mouth is.
Real estate can be risky, but it can also be very high return. And I think you get the best of both with Forum.
The secret to success in my mind in building a lasting company is creating a shared vision that everybody believes in.
Culture is not something that just happens, and I think good leaders understand that. They take the time to invest in culture, they take the time to actually live the culture and say that these are the things I believe in, and you start to see that permeate throughout the company. As a company, we have a heartbeat.
I'm proud of what we have built, not what I have built, but what we have built, and I couldn't do it without everybody else. This is a team sport, it's not an individual sport.